Hey y'all, it's Vintage Vinny, and welcome to another What Sold video. Yes, it's that time of the month again where I share with you all everything that I was able to sell on eBay. I had some pretty good sales. Again, not a terrible amount for the month. I'm not as good at listing as I should be. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in, shall we? So the very first item that sold in March were these really adorable Relco dog salt and pepper shakers. I really liked the colors that were on them, and they looked very funky. See, here's the Relco sticker on there, Relco Japan. I bought these in a lot of things from this one guy at the flea market, and I was happy to sell them for $20. Not too bad, right? Now, this is something that I've had for quite a while. This is from 1998. It's a computer game, an old computer game. And I picked this up at an antique mall, believe it or not. See, I'm one of those people, and call me weird, but I like when antique malls are not so strict with what they let dealers sell, because sometimes you can buy newer items, or not so vintage items, and they don't price it very high, and you can make some pretty good money on it. Now, granted, this person did have $10 on this, and I went ahead and took a shot in the dark. I've had this for quite a while. So I think I got a message one day from an interested buyer, and they said, hey, would you take $50? And because I only invested $10, I was like, yeah, I'll totally do that. So I wound up selling this for a best offer of $50. Brand new and sealed. When I looked it up originally, and this was pre-COVID, mind you, I didn't have the best phone. I didn't get my new S21 until we were still in the pandemic. So I wasn't really able to look it up, or maybe I looked it up on Amazon. There weren't any listed, so I didn't know exactly what to sell it for. But I went ahead and picked it up anyway for the $10. So I was happy that it sold for $50, even though it took a little while. But hey, it always always helps to wait for the right buyer sometimes. So this was a really fun piece. I'd never seen anything like it before. This is an EMSA German plastic sherbet set. It was in the original box. I picked this up at a peddler mall that is actually no longer in business. Well, I shouldn't say that because another vendor mall took in all of the dealers from this place. Anywho, I got this for $5 and I sold it for $24.99, full asking price. Really cool. So I got this owl, I think right around the time I had first met Amy B from the YouTube comments. This is a Coastabota Owl Paperweight. And at first I thought it was Viking glass, and then somebody told me, I don't think this is Viking, I think this is Coastabota. I was like, okay. So I listed it for that, and somebody asked if I would take $12 for it, and I willingly obliged, because I only paid $2.50 for it. Now, this was something that I was really happy I listed when I did. This is a Lefton Irish Shamrock Girl figurine. I got this the last time I was out in the Lancaster area. I got this at a flea market, like an indoor flea market place, for $1, and I sold it for full asking price of $34.99. So that was definitely a good pickup on my part. I did really well with all the stuff that I bought from that place. Now, there were a few things that I kept for myself, but a lot of the things that I bought, I either am going to resell or have resold. So that was definitely a good pickup. Again, another great pickup. I actually just bought this in February from the Fayetteville Antique Mall. I paid $5 for this little girl. And funny enough, after I listed and sold that one girl, I said, you know what, let me go ahead and just run downstairs. I snapped a few photos of this piece, and I listed it, and within 5 minutes it sold for $59.99. Full asking price, $59.99. Isn't that ridiculously crazy? I was not expecting that. I know that St. Patrick's Day stuff can be hard to find for some folks, especially for those who are Irish or have an Irish background and they really want some of the stuff from back in the day. So I was really happy. I was kind of surprised to even see it still at this antique mall. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and pick this up for $5, and lo and behold, it sold for a crazy number. Speaking of things that I've had for quite a while, this is something that's been sitting in a box, and I had been meaning to list it. I got this at a Goodwill in PA, and I think I actually got it half off. So I think I only paid like $1.50 for these three pieces of Villeroy and Boch. It's their Naif, if I'm pronouncing that right, Naif farmhouse, farmer boiled egg cup and napkin rings. They're all porcelain. They're marked Villeroy and Boch. See? And yeah, I sold them. Actually, I think I sent out an offer and they accepted it for $17. So $1.50 for the three turned into 17 is still some pretty good profit. Now, I found this adorable piece at a Goodwill and I actually paid up for it. I think I paid about $7.50. This Goodwill's out in the Frederick area, can be kind of pricey on some things, but there's still items to be found for, to make money on, and that's happened to me on several occasions. Anyway, this is an heirloom collection strawberry shortcake figurine. Again, paid $7.50. I did look it up, of course, to make sure that it was worth my time to buy and list, and it was. I sold it for full asking price of $29.99, and that actually went internationally. And this is another item that I've had for quite a while. This is Hugo Boss's cologne Eau de Toilette. I believe this is from the 1980s, according to the research that I did. I got this at a Goodwill and I paid $4.99 for it. I had it up for quite a while and I had it up there for I think about 80, and then sometimes if something doesn't sell or doesn't move, I'll drop the price on it a little bit. So this I actually took a best offer of $35 on, and I did only spend 5, so I felt that that offer was very reasonable. Another item that I picked up at an antique mall is this Trésor. I think it's Trésor. Yep, Trésor Lancome Paris perfume. Only 7.5 milliliters, and it was just a small little bottle. It was easily shipped first class. I think I paid $2.25 for that, and I took a best offer of $11.25. Now, funny enough, I actually bought this also the last time I was down or up in the Lancaster area. And I sold it one time. I guess the person that bought it did not like the smell of it, so they returned it to me. And then I relisted it for the same price that I had it sold it for originally. It took a few months to sell, but someone did eventually rebuy it for the $40, so I was really happy about that. Now, I will say this was a little bit of a disappointment in a eBay buy to resell. Um, it's a 1925 Coca-Cola Tray. It features the Party Girl, Flapper Girl, and the fur scarf. I do believe I paid about $25 for this, so I paid up, and I did take a best offer of 29, so I didn't make as much as I had hoped. I was hoping maybe for like 40, maybe just to make $15. But I'm happy that I at least made my money back in just a few dollars, so I can't really complain there. These were actually a very fun find. I got these at the Black Rose of Chambersburg. They are some they were made by the brand Yorktown. I'd never heard of this company before, but these boots were brand spanking new. I mean, look at them. They were not even worn at all. And I believe I got these for about like $8. I did list them kind of high. I think I listed them at like $280, which was a little ridiculous now considering what I got for them, but when you don't see any, you know, completed listings or any sold, you kind of jack up the price a little bit, or maybe even a lot, like I did, because you just don't know and you don't want to really like sell yourself short, you know? So I listed them rather high. They had the original box, they were unused. They even had this little lamb ephemera in there too to go with it. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And then it even had the original box here, like I just said, and here's the marking on it. Fur cuff. It looks like they originally sold for $5.95 wherever they were. Anywho, I did take a best offer from $40 to 30, like $39.99 to 30, and I felt that that was fair considering I only spend about $8 on them. These are really good money makers if you can find them cheap. This is a Tiara Zodiac Goblet. I got this brand new in the box for about $2, and I sold it for a best offer of $30. This was probably my best sale of the month. Again, this is something I've had for a while. I got this at the Emmitsburg Antique Mall, and I actually did pay up for it at $45. It's a Majolica crab wall pocket. I believe it was made by the Chesapeake Bay Art Pottery, or some Chesapeake Bay Art Potter. And I had it up for a while. When I did research on it originally, one had sold for over $750. So that's why I went ahead and picked it up. And I listed it for that, and then I had the same person keep emailing me, asking me a bunch of questions about it. And then over time, as it just sat and sat, and I sent offers, nobody was biting, I went ahead and kept dropping the price down on it. I had intentionally left it at $374.99 with the hopes that the original person who contacted me would buy it for that. And then he contacted me again months and months later after I had made this purchase and said, hey, are you still interested in taking a little bit of a lower offer? And he said, would you take $300 for it? And I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and do the $300 because it's been a while and I really would like to move this. And it's a really cool piece. I mean, if it hadn't been worth so much, I probably would have kept it, but I was happy to get the $300 for it. So from $45 to $300, I can't complain. Now this is another item that like literally sold within a day of me listing them, or not even a day. So these are pot metal, they're medieval looking wall sconces. Like to me they look like they belonged in a like castle from like the 1400s or 1500s. They're made of pot metal. They have a really neat like intricate design to them. They had a little bit of rusting and such on them, but this was on the back mainly, not anything you're going to see when you're using them. Now, again, this is something I probably paid about $8 for, and I sold them for full asking price of $49.99. And the reason I listed them at that price is because somebody is going to have to go through the trouble of rewiring them, getting all the hardware that's needed for them to be functional. So I listed them for that price, and lo and behold, they sold. Now, this last item that sold for the month of March is something that I got when some antique dealers decided to retire down in Frederick at Old Glory. Now, I put a list together of items that I would like to have purchased from them. I didn't get everything, which is okay. And this was one of the pieces they were willing to sell to me for the 60% off. They had originally 50% off in their booth, and then they gave me an extra 10% off of everything that I wanted. So these I wound up spending $10 for. They're from the 90s. They're just like little Tupper toys, like just fun kid stuff. And they were brand new, like they had never ever been used. So I spent $10 on those, and I sold them for $24.99. So that's everything that I would like to share with you all today. Let me know down below in the comments section what were some of the items you sold for the month of March that were really great. So that's all I have for you today. Be sure and give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure and click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to get notified when new videos are uploaded. Be sure and check me out on Instagram, the link to it is down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!